So do you guys think that prices are going to stabilize before Expo 2020 leading up to it, or do you think we're going to see a little uptick just due to sentiment?
Yes, due to the supply, but I think the best communities, the ones that are well equipped and they have all the facilities and amenities and it's all wholly rounded community, will hold its price. Just the Expo 2020 site alone is around 260,000 square meter.
Hi, my name is Lynnette Abad, and you are watching an episode of Property Finder Talks, where I speak to leaders in the real estate industry here in the UAE. Today's episode is very exciting. It is the first panel edition of Property Finder Talks. So do you guys think that prices are going to stabilize before Expo 2020 leading up to it, or do you think we're going to see a little uptick just due to sentiment?
My personal view on Expo is I sort of liken it to my time when I was in London during the Olympics. I was in the Olympics for 2012, and before the Olympics actually started, there was a little bit of, is this a white elephant? What's actually going to happen? Is this really going to actually bring everything we wanted? And perhaps in the true British style, we all started to think this is not going to be good as it was. And about 2 or 3 months before, the noise started happening. It's everywhere you looked, and it started to get quite exciting. And by the time the Olympics, I've got goosebumps. By the time the Olympics went, I remember watching the Olympic Games opening ceremony, and it was fantastic. It was just incredible. And that was the best city in the world for 2 months, undoubtedly. Okay. It was such a good atmosphere. Everyone had a smile on their face. And that had such an important knock-on effect into the psyche of London, into the economy of London for that period. And I think Dubai will do this properly. I think Dubai will make this an incredible place to be for 6 months. And I think that alone will have a very, very positive impact into the psyche of Dubai, to the population of Dubai, the economy of Dubai, which will then, it's going to help us support in real estate.
It's going to be an incredible show. It's going to be great. It's 6 months long. We all around, if we go around the table here and ask, when did you come to Dubai and how long you had in mind to stay in Dubai? We're all going to say, I had 2 years, 3 years, and we're all here, I'm here now 15 years and I had only 4 years to stay in, and I was planning to stay 4 years. And I'm sure same thing for Abdullah and same thing for you. Richard, I think you're going to be here for a while. You're going to be here for a while, and same for Ernie. So people are going to come and they're going to like what they see. They're going to see this beautiful, inspiring city, and they would want either to come back or stay. Our job here and the government job is to create this sustainable environment for those people who are going to come, because we need to create jobs, we need to create a socio-economic system for these guys to move in and make this home as well, just like we all did. Going back to your question, will the prices remain under pressure? Yes, due to the supply, but I think the best communities, the ones that are well equipped and they have all the facilities and amenities and it's all wholly rounded community, will hold its price. Just the Expo 2020 site alone is around 260,000 square meter of brand new developments, from cultural, educational, residential, entertainment, business. So you're going to see, and the infrastructure is amazing there because the government has really invested a lot of money to make this happen. So you are going to see communities that are well established will perhaps hold a price, but the ones that are not fully finished will be under pressure.
How do you see areas, for example, ARON, that you focus on, like the Dubai land areas, being affected? Or do you think that there will be no effect for them for Expo 2020?
So to go back slightly towards the companies coming over, in the areas that we do, which are on the fringes of the city, which are a little bit closer to these sites going on, there's the solar park as well as the Expo site. We've had quite a few corporate clients coming in, and we've done floors for tenants, multiple floors. We've got a lot of inquiries over the next 2 months for hundreds and hundreds of tenants coming over for the Expo site and for the solar park, and that's only going to increase as it gets closer to the actual time. But in terms of demand, I think throughout this entire year, all of the government initiatives have been demand-side factors. So the visa requirements, the mortgage caps, the online trade licenses encouraging companies to come in. These are all big demand-side factors. Obviously, the Expo itself is the biggest demand-side play you could possibly inject into an economy. That coupled with the Real Estate Committee, which is the first supply-side play that we've seen, I think we could sort of see a slight equilibrium in next year into the market. In terms of the areas that we do on the periphery, Expo is going to be great for it because it is in and around the region, and DWC, it's close to there too. There are quite a lot of these communities coming over the next year, but for me, all I've seen is the migration out of the core areas, so the Dubai Marina, the downtown, the Palm. You can get, for a price of a one-bedroom apartment, you can get a villa in the communities that I operate in. So as fast as these communities hand over, we fill them up. So from my side, there is no lack of demand whatsoever. If anything, I think that the decrease in price in the more core areas is due to the new communities coming into the market. And these communities are seen as, you know, lesser communities on the periphery of the city. But if you go to these communities, they're beautiful. The amenities are absolutely fantastic. They're providing a lot of competition to the main areas. You know, would you rather live in a one-bedroom apartment in Dubai Marina? Would you rather live in a three-bedroom, 2,500 square foot townhouse with dog parks and swimming pools? You know, these are beautiful communities. So in terms of demand, as we get closer to the Expo and people are actually going to start going to the Expo site, I think it will only increase in these communities.
So very good market sentiment, obviously. So Abdullah, with your Saudi investors, I mean, obviously there's a lot of investment in projects happening in Saudi. Have you seen them steer away from Dubai and invest more in Saudi? Are you seeing them come into Dubai for Expo 2020? What's the trend that you're seeing?
Look, the short answer is no. There's still Saudis still represent a large portion of our business. They still continue to buy, and they continue to buy in strategic ways. Some of our anchor clients are still buying buildings or developing communities as well. With Expo, I think there's the Shanghai story of Expo, which was amazing because after Expo in 2010 in Shanghai, prices tripled in Shanghai over a 6-year period of time. And especially in that area of Pudong, which is where the new Shanghai is. You look at Milan in 2015, it's a bit of a contrast, and what it boils down to actually is the economy. What's the economy doing? Where is the demand coming from? And if you look at Dubai, even from the beginning of time, historically, prices of real estate move upwards when the economy is good, and they move downwards. The real estate cycle is very similar to the economy cycle. If we look at the latest IMF reports, we expect the economy to grow in 2020 and beyond, and that's due to a number of factors, including increase in trade and tourism and transport and logistics. In fact, in logistics in particular, and I don't think we've seen reports on that, but we're operating in Jafza and we're very active in the warehouses front and industrial real estate. And I think that's an area where we've seen demand growth and price growth as well in the last maybe 12 months. And we've seen a big growth in demand and price increases, and that's primarily due to shift maybe from retail to e-commerce, and a lot of these guys are needing more and more space to store their products, whether it's Noon or Souk or Amazon or what have you. This segment has actually seen price growth for the right reasons from an economy perspective. So you see a shift towards e-commerce, and that trickled down to the actual economy and to the real estate prices. And you'll see the same story within real estate, residential demand and commercial as well as we near Expo and as population increases. And I think that's really what it's about. For Saudi again in particular, I don't think we will see change in their sentiment towards Dubai. Dubai has always been a hub for regional investment and for regional trade. A lot of Saudi entities still have their representative offices here to trade with China, for example. It's much easier because of the logistics that the city has built in the infrastructure. It's much easier for traders to trade through Dubai into Saudi. And yes, there is going to be growth in the Saudi market with all these changes. But at the same time, you'll see this city growing as well and becoming more and more interesting from an investment perspective. And you'll still continue to seeing Saudis continue to invest in Dubai.